Good morning. Starting a new series. It's gonna just be starting off my day with like just the Lord, just talking about anything, whatever topic is on my mind. Just come on in here and start speaking about it, and maybe somebody that watches this can learn something from it and maybe take something in. But this is just early mornings with Preston. Actually, no, early mornings with Christ. I'm gonna make it that early mornings with Christ. Early is in the morning. It's not that early. It's 7:14. It's not that early as I planned it, but we're starting off the day early, you know. But I'm gonna just say it straight up. Sin feels like freedom until it's time to give it up. Sin feels like freedom until it's time to give it up because maybe you've indulged in like a routine, whatever that may be. Maybe you've maybe it's a part of your routine now and that you want to give it up, but you keep going to the sin, and this can go with like any type of sin. Honestly, it can go with any type of sin, whatever it may be, like lust, greed, envy, wrath, anger, whatever. When it's time to give it up, that's when it feels like more of an addiction than anything else, because without you realizing what it had like an impact on your life before you realize that, you just felt like it's like a natural thing, like, oh, everybody does it. But that's really not the case. Because what sin does is it just keeps us set down, and it just keeps us set down, it just holds us with like a chain that feels like it's too hard to break off. But in reality, God can save those, can break those chains. God can break those chains and set you free, and he'll show you what true freedom really is. But you know what? Yeah. So I'm gonna just talk about my situation, right? Um, so with I've struggled for lust for like a very long time, right? It Now looking back on it, it was in my routine day in and day out for maybe the past, I want to say 5 years, maybe 5, 6. I'm not too sure, but in only about a year ago, maybe two, I can't remember that far, but I wanted to just to get rid of it because that's when I found Christ as well. That's when I found Christ and I just wanted to get rid of it, but it was too hard, and I just didn't know. Like I didn't know anything, but so I'm trying to think. Um, I just wanted to get rid of it, but I just didn't know how. I tried, I tried anything. Um, I tried journaling. I tried, going for walks. I tried working out. I tried anything you can think of that you find online about how to quit. I've probably done it all. Nothing worked. Nothing really like made an impact to set me free in the right direction, right? Until I found God. It was still a big struggle going into it with my relationship with Christ. It was a big struggle going into it, and I didn't put in enough effort in getting closer with God to set me free from it fully. I felt freedom for about 4 months. I want to say that 4 months of this year, 2025. until I fell back again 2 months ago. And then that's when the cycle started to pick up again. And I just said like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to do this. So August 14th, I usually have a Thursday night Bible study. And one of my good friends decided to join, right? We've always joined all the time. But this has been like since June, maybe May. This was like a Bible study since like June, maybe May. I'm trying to remember the dates, but I really can't. I'm not good with dates. Um, Back to the point. I'm gonna just spare a lot of the details because obviously, like the person I'm talking about is probably watching this video right now. But if you have anybody in your life that you can talk to, that you feel comfortable talking to, no matter how uncomfortable the topic may be, any type of forward progress in trying to get rid of something that holds you back for so long is really worth it. You know? Like, all it takes is about, maybe for me, it was like, what, 2, 3 hours of a phone call? That's what it took for me to realize, to even like feel a difference. Like, I feel free. It's just how it is. Like, all it takes is just one person in your life to like even go to and talk to even feel comfortable talking to like help you and gain advice from. No matter how big or no matter how small the advice may be, any type of advice matters. Anything, no matter what it may be, is always enough information to take in to where you can, it's more progress to getting rid of the sin, you know? For me, like, lust was a dangerous thing in my life. It was like, it's a big thing that just destroyed me mentally, physically, spiritually, anything you can think of. I wanted to get rid of it. I have so far, and it's going to stay like that moving on. August 14th. I just made my decision. Just let it go. It's just how it is. It's just, it doesn't matter how long it takes. As soon as you make the day to like make that decision to just set free from it, it's going to be worth it in the long run. And don't get me wrong, as soon as a couple of days after that, that's when the temptations start getting in. I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to deal with this anymore. It's done. But that's the point. I felt so much freedom before realizing how bad it was that doing the act of it felt normal. Until I started looking at the bigger picture and realizing how bad it is for me. And that's when I start feeling that conviction. That's when I start feeling just like that, what am I doing type of thing, you know? And it felt like freedom in the moment until I wanted to give it up. And that's when it felt like an addiction. Because it was. Not gonna sugarcoat it, it was just a big addiction that a lot of us may be going through and may have. But God provides the way out. He provides the way out. He gives you the path to take to set you free from your sin. He gives you any opportunity for you to grow closer to him, but you have to take that opportunity to it's like building blocks, you know? He gives you the foundation and you have to work up from that foundation to I'm trying to find the word. I can't find the word, but he gives you the foundation of everything. And if you don't have a strong foundation with your relationship with Christ, everything else might be shaky. Everything else is going to be shaky. But you have to put your faith and trust into him, you know? Sin, just in general, just hate it. You know, we all do. But it's a hard process of just giving it up. Because it's in our nature, it's in our flesh to want to do this more. But God has something and has things that are way better. You know, more just eternity in general. It's just what he has for us. You know, we just have to choose him instead of our own sin. Every time the sin comes around in your life, ask yourself the question, is it worth it to do it now than to rather risk my eternity in heaven? Or just even think of the situation, if Jesus was right next to you, would you still do it? That's something that I've heard. It's just something I've heard, and it's just something that's just too big. It's just so big to even think about because we're always alone. We're always alone physically, but we're never alone spiritually. Just right now, it's just me in this house right now. 7 in the morning, and it's just me in this house. 2 years ago is going to be a different story. I'm going to be home alone, but I'm going to be do something that I shouldn't be doing. But now I'm home alone and I'm making a video about Christ. Right. That just shows that you may be alone physically, but you're never alone spiritually. God is always with us and he's always watching. Right. So just every time, I'm gonna use lust as an example. Every time you're tempted to fall into lust, would you still do it if Jesus was right next to you? If Jesus was with you in person, would you still do it? You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't. And imagine that situation every single time it comes up. And whatever, just any type of sin in general. Maybe listening to music, maybe listening to secular music, maybe speaking vulgar language, or maybe looking at things you shouldn't be looking, maybe hearing things you shouldn't be hearing. If Jesus was right next to you, would you do it? That's something that I had to tell myself, and I just had to make the decision just to choose and God instead of just choosing my flesh. You know, it's a hard process, and nobody said it was going to be easy, but it's just a process that God has built for us, like His plan for us, whatever that may be. What He has for us is always going to be better than what we can even choose, what we can even imagine. You know. And that's just something that we have to choose him every day. Because the more we choose him first, there's a quote. If you, I forget how it goes, but it goes along something like this, right? Instead of wanting to sin less, follow God to the point where your desire to sin gets less or is naturally less. It's like following Jesus. Like the more you follow Jesus, the more naturally less you want to sin. I know someone knows that. like, I know I'm not the only one that heard that's seen that quote before. And it's true because, the more you get into a relationship with Christ, and the more you just pray to Him, talk to Him, read your Word, read your Bible, the more of the desire to sin is naturally less, because you want to do more. You want to just everything you do wants to reflect Christ, and that's what we're called to do. We're called to reflect Christ in everything that we do. But yeah, I hope whoever stayed at the end of this video just know that no matter how deep or far gone you are into sin, you are never too far gone in sin, right? You're never too far gone to get back to Christ. I didn't only just get back to Christ not even like a week ago, August 14th. Literally a week ago from today. Isn't that crazy? That just shows like no matter how far we are, if we can go, just any friend, spouse, partner, guidance counselor, whoever it may be, someone, as soon as you talk to somebody, that's when everything could change. And it did change for me. So I'm starting a new series. Early Mornings with Christ. Probably, I don't know. I don't know how long or how early I'm going to be doing these, because my sleep schedule varies. Sometimes we waking up at 8 a.m. and this time I woke up at 6:30. I started to just get ready to make this video. So yeah, I'm gonna see how this series goes in the future. Hope you whoever stayed this far, I love you guys, but Jesus loves you more. I'll see you on next episode.